good, y'all? Welcome, finally, to my review for Star Wars Tales of the Underworld. This took a while for me to get this. It literally came out May the 4th. It is June 1st as I'm recording this, so you guys probably will not see it till the day after, the 2nd, because it's pretty late right now. It's like 9:30 p.m. right now, so I'll probably post this review up for tomorrow. But anyway, man, I finally found the time to sit down and finally watch this fucking thing. And I gotta say, man, this was another banger. The Star Wars Tales of series, Tales of Trilogy, is now 3 for 3. Though honestly, I also was kind of shocked we even got this one because I thought we got Tales of the Jedi first and Tales of the Empire. I was like, okay, cool, we're done. That's all we're probably getting. I completely forgot they were gonna do one on the Underworld section of the Star Wars universe. But like now, I'm like literally, what if they ever do like a season 4 or a 4th one of these? What could they possibly do it outside of doing a second Tales of the Jedi or Tales of the Sith or the Empire or whatnot, man? Unless they just like do like a Tales that takes place during the Old Republic or something. Maybe they do one that's focused exclusively on the rebellion. Like, I don't know where else they could go with this concept for a show besides just continuing and taking one of the previous ones and giving it a continuation. Tales of the Jedi Season 2, or Tales of the Empire Season 2, or Tales of the Underworld Season 2. But regardless of this is like the final one, or we end up next year or whatever, we end up getting announced for the 4th one, man. Hey, I'll be down for it, man, because this series has been phenomenal, man, and I've been having a blast watching them. If I was to rank these 3 right now, I would say Tales of the Jedi is still definitely my favorite. The Count Dooku episodes, the Ahsoka episodes, and Josh Keaton was in it as well. That one I think is still number 1. Number 2, I think I would put Underworld in number 2, and then Tales of the Empire number 3. I haven't watched Tales of the Empire since I originally reviewed it, whenever that was today. I think that came out while I was still in college. I think I was still in HSU when Tales of the Empire dropped. I might be wrong though. So yeah, I think it's my ranking for all three of these shows, man. And now the cool thing about this show, and I forget if Tales of the Empire was structured like this as well, but instead of them doing 6 whole like anthology episodes like we got for Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire, if I remember correctly, like I said, Tales of the Empire, they might have also done like the whole 2-parter thing. Not entirely sure. But they did the first half of the episode, the first half of the series. The first 3 episodes were focused on Asajj Ventress, while the last 3 were focused on Cad Bane, and basically giving us Cad Bane's origins, which was pretty cool as well. And so yeah, so that was pretty cool, man. I like the way that was structured like this one, man. I thought this whole thing was gonna be on Asajj Ventress, man. I kind of wish it was Loki, kind of was, man, because I was really digging those 2. But the stuff with Cad Bane was really fucking cool as well. But anyway, guys, let's just jump right into the show. Stars Nikita Futterman, if I pronounce it right, Lance Factor, Corey Burton, Art Butler, Don Lynn Gardner, if I pronounce it right, and many more in the plot. Of Tales of the Empire is Asajj Ventress, a former citizen, flees with a new ally, while Cad Bane confronts his past while meeting with a new friend turned marshal. Now, I thought the voice cast was great as well. I'm assuming, Asajj Ventress and all the other returning VAs from, Clone Wars are back as well, man. But I really dug this one, man. It was actually, and I thought the cast was pretty good, man. One thing that, which, we'll talk about that a little bit because there's like one problem, big massive problem I have with the show, man. Just kind of get where it takes place and whatnot, but we'll get to that in a second. But, yeah, the cast was great, man. I thought the voice cast was great, man. The one interesting thing about Cad Bane, though, was we had 3, like I said, the last 3 episodes are dedicated to him and giving us his origins. The first episode's when he's a child, then it went and like how he ended up becoming a bounty hunter. Then the 2nd and 3rd episodes are basically him when he's slowly becoming a bounty hunter. And the 3rd episode is when we see Cad Bane as we know him today, with the cowboy hat and everything, the whole cowboy look. But because the 2nd episode was stuck in that transitional period for him, where by that point he had switched to his current VA that we know him from the Clone Wars, Republic Heroes, which you guys know, that's where I know Cad Bane from. That was how I was introduced to him, man. Competitor. I love his missions at the end of the game, man. He was so much fun. But anyway, as I was saying with Cad Bane, we get the whole thing with him, but like because the 2nd episode was in that transitional period when he was had already switched over to his current VA, but he was still, I'm pretty much sure, like a teenager at that point. Probably in his teen, so he's going through puberty. His voice isn't all there, which I thought was nice because he sounds like Cad Bane, that deep, gravelly voice kind of thing. I don't know if I'm probably doing a shit impression of it, but you guys know how Cad Bane sounds. But his voice kind of cracks all the time because he's going through puberty, so it kind of gets a little higher than it should. It doesn't sound as smooth and as as we know, and like rough as we usually hear it as in like the Clone Wars and whatnot, man. Then the third episode, obviously, it's how he normally sounds. But I thought that was a nice little touch there, man, to like how what they do with Cad Bane's voice for the fifth episode, rather, not the second episode for Dark, but the fifth episode in total for Tales of the Underworld. I thought that was a nice little touch there, man, how they did that one, which did kind of like get rid of some of his aura because of his voice thing, but like, it didn't really matter much. But anyway, speaking of Cad Bane, one thing I thought that was really cool, when we actually get his origin in this episode, which I'm assuming this is like the first time we ever got anything like this for Cad Bane. Like you guys know, I don't mess around with the EU Star Wars, man. I'm not that deep into it. I haven't watched the Clone Wars. I haven't watched Rebels. My only connection with Cad Bane is Star Wars, Clone Wars, Republic Heroes, and the Xbox 360 back in the day, and his appearances in The Mandalorian Season 2, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was Season 2. Yeah, it was definitely Season 2 when Cad Bane had showed up, man. Which is like the first time we saw any like Clone Wars characters in live action, which you guys know was like a huge deal. Anyway, so you had all that. So you had that going on there. And like I said, I don't read the novels or not, so I don't know if any of this was already mentioned or alluded to in any of those any of the other previous Dave Filoni Star Wars projects that have released. But I really thought it was really cool that we got his origins, man. How he first became a bounty hunter. He had a friend that he was really close to as a child, who ends up when he becomes a bounty hunter, he becomes like a marshal, a lawman, sheriff, if you will, man. You got that whole thing in there, and you got that whole thing going on there. Remember that dynamic, which was really cool. But the other thing is, I love how his episodes were shot. They were shot and very much framed, and definitely felt like a Western. Like, you even got the whole Mexican standoff thing where they're staring each other down with, like, their hands hovering over their holsters, man, before they, like, shoot each other, man. They got the whole spaghetti western thing down, and it was so fucking cool, man. I love the way this was. Like, there were some really nice shots in here, especially when like a Cad Bane and the Marshal fight at the end of episode 5. They had like this fire. There's like a building on fire. The Cad Bane had blown up in the background, and it looks so good. There was a lot of really nice shots in the show, man. I gotta say, but I thought that was really cool, man. And what they do with Cad Bane's origins, man, I thought that was really cool that we got to see it. Now, but for me personally, easily the highlight was Asajj Ventress. Now that was pretty cool that we got. Now I have no idea where this takes place in the continuity of Star Wars. Obviously, this takes place after the prequels. If I had to guess, I think it seems like at least Asajj Ventress' story. I don't know where Cad Bane's is in the same time period, or that's going to be probably a little bit later, maybe even earlier, because Cad Bane did appear first of all in the Clone Wars. So not entirely sure where his whole story falls in the continuity, but at least with Asajj Ventress, I can definitely assume it's definitely in post Revenge of the Sith, but probably before A New Hope kind of thing, when the rebellion hadn't quite formed and everything, man. Like, you got the Inquisitors out there, so I heard, hunting for Jedis and whatnot, man. I'm assuming it takes place during that sort of area in the continuity. But I love the dynamic between her and the dude and the little kid Jedi, who at first I was like, oh, this kid thinks he's a Jedi because he tries to do like Jedi mind tricks on this woman because he's trying to get out of this planet they're on, which I don't think we ever find out what planet they're actually on. I could be wrong though, but I don't think they ever mentioned the planet they were on, at least in the first episode. But he's like, this is enough. And it doesn't work. I'm like, bro thinks he's a Jedi. Then later on, we see him pull out a lightsaber. And like, oh shit, the kid's like a Jedi. And we see him use like force moves and whatnot. So I'm like, the kid's like a legit, probably apprentice from that man that survived Order 66. So, and I just love the dynamic between these two, between this kid that's all bubbly and like, very, very hopeful. When you got Asajj Ventress going on there being like, oh, dark, brooding, just wants to be left alone, after that happened with her, the Clone Wars and whatnot, man. Wants to live a quiet lifestyle, which is why she's been working this like bodyguard job in this whatever desert planet they're on, man. So, but yeah, their dynamic was so much fun, man. I also, like I said, I wish they got the entire show to themselves, honestly, because I had so much fun watching Asajj Ventress and this dude, man. And like, I hope we get more of these two. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up dedicating a comic book to these guys later on down the road to like continue on with their adventures to find the path for the Jedi. This Jedi path thing, which I don't know, but is this something that's been pre-established? Because like, this is the first time I'm ever hearing about like there being like a Jedi path that's meant to be like some sort of safe haven for the Jedi after Order 66. I don't know if this has already been pre-established there. It was just some bullshit that was made just for that was mentioned for the first time here, man. But I thought it was nice. But yeah, I would love to see to get like another like sequel series of they got like if there was a Tales of the Underworld season 2 and they just focus it entirely on Asajj Ventress. I'd be down for it if they made a comic book on this, man. I'd be down for it, man. But I love the dynamic to this too. And those that were easily my favorite episodes were the episodes with Assad Ventress. Another thing I gotta talk about, man, is the choreography. Man. Like this show, the lightsaber fights for Assad Ventress. Like I said, the Mexican standouts and whatnot, the Western episodes with Cad Bane looked great as well. But for the lightsaber fights, the choreography for those were phenomenal. Especially the first one where Assad Ventress is fighting off against the Inquisitor. Like, yo, that's like low-key one of the best choreographed lightsaber fights I've ever seen, bro. Or at the very least I've seen in a hot minute, man. It was so well done, man. That was a top-tier lightsaber fight, low-key, man. Like, that fight was amazing, man. I love how they used the environment, man, the way it was shot, man. Great choreography, man. Shout out to whoever the animators were on that part of the episode, man. They did an absolutely spectacular job, man. But yeah, love the look of that, man. How they did the lightsaber fight. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna get into without getting into spoilers, man. Like, besides that, like, you guys know, these episodes are not that very long. They're only like 12 to 50 minutes each, and there's only 6 of them, so there isn't really enough to talk about. But in terms of negatives, the big thing is, and this is probably more of a me problem, because you guys know, like I said, I'm a very casual Star Wars fan. I only watch the movies, the Disney Plus shows, and dabble in the games here and there, man. You guys know I don't really mess with the comics unless it's like Kylo Ren or something. You guys know me, I don't really fuck with much with the EU, man, and delve into the EU for Star Wars. But one thing, and like I said, this is probably more of a me problem. This show expects you to be like an expert on the EU, or at the very least have watched or read whatever the hell happened between this and how the fuck Assad Ventress now has hair and a yellow lightsaber. Where the fuck did she get this lightsaber, man? And the hilt that she has, man, it's curved and everything, man. It looks like her old hilt. I'm pretty sure it's not the same hilt she had in the Clone Wars, because obviously those lights are red, and like, even if she went to purify her lightsaber, they would have turned white, not yellow. So I'm like, where the fuck did she get this yellow lightsaber? It's never explained, it's never alluded to, it's never elaborated on where she got the kingdom still does that. It's like, where the fuck did you get a yellow lightsaber? Because you guys know, yellow lightsabers are very rare. Like, I think the only characters that we know have them was obviously Leia, which I think in both Legends and I think in Rise of Skywalker, she had the yellow lightsaber. I could be wrong though, and it might just been Legends, but I think she had it there. Rey obviously had the yellow lightsaber as well. I know there was like these Imperial guards, these like royal guards in like the Jedi Temple. In the Clone Wars that also had yellow lightsabers. So I'm like, where the fuck she get this yellow lightsaber? And like, why does she have hair now? Like, I obviously should probably just let her hair grow out, but like, where did she get her hair, man? What made her want to grow out her hair, man? How did she leave Count Dooku? To be fair, the whole thing with Count Dooku that probably does get explained in Clone Wars. To be fair, but like, where about the yellow lightsaber? Where the fuck that come from? Was that also in Clone Wars? Was that in Rebels? Did that get explained in Rebels? Like, where the fuck did she get this yellow lightsaber? It looks cool too, but like, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, where did you get this lightsaber, woman? So, like I said, this is definitely a show that expects you to be like some lore expert, man, or at the very least probably have watched Rebels and the Clone Wars, because like I said, they do not explain where the hell we're at, what Assad Ventress has been up to, man, and where the fuck she got this yellow lightsaber, man. But yeah, that's kind of my biggest problem, is the whole thing with the yellow lightsaber, man. That's like my biggest issue I have with Tales of the Underworld, man. They don't explain what Assad Ventress is doing. They do not explain how the hell she got that yellow lightsaber. But if you guys know, if there's any Star Wars fans in the comments, please tell me if there was a specific episode in Rebels or the Clone Wars, some random comic or something, because I want to know where she got this yellow lightsaber. But yeah, man, that was really cool, man. I love her look as well, man. I love the Assad Ventress' look in this show, man, with like the short hair she had going on there, man. It was really cool. And anyway, guys, that's about all I got for you guys for my review for Tales of the Underworld, man. Fantastic show, man. Like I said, they're 3 for 3 for these, man. If we get another one, awesome. I'll be down for it. I'll be reviewing it, man. If this ends up being the last one, because like I said, what more can they do other than doing one about the rebellion or the fucking politicians of Star Wars, man? Do like Tales of the Politician and just focus on Padme, doing diplomacy and shit. I mean, that could be fun, because then we'll get Anakin in there, maybe an Obi-Wan cameo for lucky. But yeah, man. Anyway, guys, overall, I give this I give this series a 9.5 out of 10, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on social if you feel like it. Links are across below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.